Hello again. This is Ed from High Tech Trading Analysis, and I'm going to do a demonstration of a new indicator that I've developed. It's actually not a new indicator, but something I've put a lot of work and effort into to enhance and make quite a bit better than the original. It is a swings indicator, as you can see here. Now, just to get straight to the point, let me pull over a chart. This is a 6E chart. It is current data. I'm currently not connected to, I just disconnected from my market data, so we won't be seeing the bars move. But this is today. Today is Wednesday the 27th, about 9 o'clock in the evening. And what I want to show you here is NinjaTrader's default swing indicator. What this is, what all swing indicators, swings, pivots, swing high, swing low, some people might even call it what the indicator does is identify highs and lows based on a strength setting that you set in the indicator. A strength, call it a strength, call it a period, call it bars back and bars forward, however you want to look at that. With a strength setting here of 5, we'll take this particular bar. If this is the high of the last 5 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is, and the high of the next 5 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is. Depending on whether you have it set on calculate on bar closed or true or false, this swing will be drawn at either the beginning of that bar or on the close of that bar. So even though this is the high, with a strength setting, this goes for any swing indicator that I know of on the market, it takes a fixed number of bars to the left and a fixed number of bars to the right before the line, the dots, is actually drawn. Now you can see the limitations with the built-in swing indicator for Ninja. They do not extend all the way to the end. They end right at the beginning of a new swing, regardless if the swing was broken or not. Okay, that just kind of gives you the basics of what a swing indicator is. Now, let me pull over what I'm about to show you. Same chart, same instrument, same time period, 20-minute, same everything. I got a divergence indicator on here. Let me get rid of that. I'm not really here to talk about this. I'm in the process of developing and enhancing that right now. We have the same swings outlined. I'm drawing lines for the swings, although I'm extending those lines. I'm also labeling those lines with price. I'm also labeling those lines with a tick offset. Meaning a tick offset, meaning price is trading here, or was, at 152. And this swing is at 164. So it's 12 ticks above the last traded price. This price down here for this swing is 3067. Let me do this for us. And I'll show you this, how we can do this a little later. Make these a little bigger. 152, 067, that's 85 ticks from the current price. Now I've added a couple things to what you would consider. We've added lines that extend all the way across. We've added labeling for price and tick offset. We've also added dots with price at the swing points. Now, like all of my indicators, I add a drop-down box or a drop-down icon, call it, to the NinjaTrader indicator panel. Now, in that drop-down, there are several features associated to this indicator. First of all, I have a show active swings, a show broken swings, show labels, meaning if I click on show labels, all the labels go away. If I come back and click on show labels again, all the labels come back. Uh-oh. Crap. I'll have to fix that right now. I'll fix that as soon as this demonstration's over. I just got done making the last enhancements to this, and crap, I need to fix that right now and screw this in. Screw this. Okay, sorry about that. Just took me a couple seconds to fix that. I just made the last modifications to this, and I must have had something wrong. And well, I had something wrong in my toolbar settings. So when I turn off show labels, the labels go away. The broken swing still stays on. I don't know if any of you noticed that or not, but that's fixed. We have lines, we have dots, we have prices. Now, the unique thing, there are several unique things about my indicator that you will not find in anybody's in the marketplace today. Okay, I can click on show active swings and they get hidden. I can hide my broken swings and they get hidden. I can come back and show both of those again. I can come down to the broken swings and say, let's not show the lines, but let's just show the dots. Or I can come and say, let's show the lines, but let's not show the dots. I will probably be adding an enhancement to this so that if you're just showing the lines and not the dots, that you can still keep price on the swing. Right now, price is associated to the dot. And normally when I'm looking at my indicator, I'm probably looking at it more like this. Now, another thing that I do that most don't is you'll see double tops, meaning in most cases with the swing indicator, this swing high would have to break this high in order for that to be a swing high. I mean, in practical purposes, that's true. I've set this up so that it doesn't have to break it. As long as it's equal to, it considers that a swing high. And the reason why I do that for myself is I like seeing the double tops. When price comes up with the big range bar like this and pulls back down and comes back up, and I get a retracement back to this level right before my previous swing, and it closes down below, I know that I can take a stab here at 17 or whatever and play this down to 78. I can play this from a methodology standpoint. I can play this for a small stop, 10 tick stop, looking for 20, 30, 40 ticks to the downside. Depends on how you're analyzing the markets and what you're seeing and what you're feeling. In any case, the indicator shows double tops. We have the ability to hide all of our lines individually and just keep the dots on there. We have the ability to have the lines and the dots. We have the ability to have neither if we want. Just by clicking on the one, we get rid of everything, and now all we're showing are the active swing points. In the indicator itself, in the indicator panel, I allow you to choose your style, the width of your line, meaning my active swings I'm showing as dots right now at a width of 2. And my broken swings I'm showing as a solid line with a width of 1. I can show that as a dash, a dot, a solid line, a dash dot, however I want to look at that. I can make this dot, if I want to see it real big, I can make it real big. Now, I don't offer these selections in the drop down because in a normal situation, you're going to set this up however you like to see it. And that is something that really isn't changed. Now, I, on the other hand, might want to hide my swings. And now my indicator, now you'll notice too that when I click up here, I can't select on that swing. It's gone. And I can't select it and accidentally remove it or anything. But if I come back and click on that again, they're back. Now, I am also able to unlock my swings, meaning if I want to take that line and draw it somewhere else, I can. Or I don't even have to unlock them to do that. I don't normally do that, but what I might do is I don't want to see that swing, so I'll hit the delete key and get rid of it. And I don't want to see that dot, so I'll click the delete key and I'll get rid of it. And now I have my major swing levels on here. Now if I went back and we went and showed our broken swings, maybe I don't want to see this one. Can I select that? They're so close together, it's going to be difficult. There it is. Okay, I'll get rid of that swing. And we'll get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. Now I don't want to see that dot. How about anything else? Same kind of thing here. You know, maybe you don't want to see this. Not real sure why it's not letting me select that line right there. But because I have that set on 1, it doesn't add a lot of clutter to my screen. Now, just like in the drawbar, I don't know if you guys haven't watched the product demonstration on that, you should. I can middle click my tool button and everything is gone. I middle click it again and everything is back. We can show all active swings or not just by clicking on that. We can select lines or dots, hide those individually, both for active and broken swings. We can hide our labels. We can come over and change the font of our line labels. We can change the font of our dot labels. We can hide our dot labels and leave our line labels. We can hide our line labels. And just show our dot labels. It's all a matter, it's customized so that you can set this up all in a matter of however you want to set this up. There are also alerts built into it, meaning that if we have this swing high, if I have my alerts on, I can get an alert if this swing high is broken or penetrated. Now in the drop down, I can set that up as a sound only or an alert with sound. Now an alert with sound means that we have an alert box that will actually post an alert or typed an alert in that box, as well as giving you a sound. Honestly, I use sound only. I never use the alert box, so I don't ever use that option. But for those of you that might, it is there. Another unique feature of the indicator is if we go back into the indicator panel and we come down and look at our sound files, it's set up so that you can use the pull down here, click, and it will automatically show you every sound file you have in your NinjaTrader folder. So you don't have to know what sound file, what the actual name of that file is. You can pick it and you don't have to worry about being precise when you type it out here. Same type of thing here. Sound only, we have the selection. Alert with sound or sound only. We can turn them on or we can turn them off. To be honest with you, I don't use them. For the most part, I'm continuously hiding them and unhiding them just to give me an idea of what's going on. What I might do is I might use my drawbar and come over here and say, okay, that area there, and between that area and that area right there, and in all actuality that's just between the two swings. So what I would probably do would be to come up to the bottom of our congestion area right here, and that would be more like the zone that I would want, and look at where price is right here. Just penetrated it by a tick. Now this would be more of a call it a swing, call it a zone, call it a pivot. In this particular area, some people might like to, since this bar is the swing point, some might want to look at that whole bar as a zone. Some might want to look at just to the close. Some might want to look at just to the open. Same type of thing up here. You might want to take that just to the close, or you might want to take that to the open, or you might want to look at that whole bar and say, okay, that whole bar, if we get back up into this area, I might be willing to take a swing at it. The problem you get in, depending on the data series that you're using, is, that's 21 ticks, just that bar, just that 20-minute bar. So in some cases, that's that zone is outside the realm of someone's risk tolerance. So you might in turn pull that up and just look at the high there, or maybe even come into here and say, okay, now that only took 5 ticks off. So, but you get the general idea. Don't be too conservative there in your zones. Although if you were looking for the optimal entry, you are looking for just the wick of that bar. But that's a methodology, and then that's up to for you to decide. In all actuality, we could probably come all the way up to the top of that congestion right there, and that's what I would look at as an area of possible rejection. And then for real, if we were looking at this, you probably want to look at an area like this and as an area of rejection. And then we could come down here and say that anywhere between there and there might be an area of rejection. And now I can turn my swings off. They were a very nice tool and a very nice indicator. Or I can leave them on, or I can turn off my lines now for both sides so that I have a reminder of where previous swings were, and it's real easy for me to see. If you're not familiar with the Drawbar Indicator, I suggest you go take a look at my product demonstration. A lot of nice features to that. You know, I've added this recently. Some people wouldn't look at it this way, but we can look at this and look at an ABCD extension. So even though you know, if I'm looking at this with these couple methodologies, even though I have a zone or an area of resistance or supply, whatever you want to call it, I also see that I have, if I'm looking at, this might not be a standard ABC, but if I'm looking at this measured move from here to here off of this larger tracement, you know, we could come up to 31.94. So, you know, if I got in here short and I'm looking to play this down, I'm not going to have too big of a stop above that because, you know, because we could come here very easily. But I'm not here to demonstrate the drawbar. Come back over here. Let's show the lines again. Now, you say, okay, that's nice, that's neat. Those are all handy features. Another thing, and one of the biggest things, well, I shouldn't say the biggest, because all of this differentiates mine from almost anyone else's. We explained zone theory earlier. Okay, what we explained was that if this is the high and we have a strength setting of 5, that this high has to be the high of the previous 5 bars and the next 5 bars before this swing is drawn. In my case, that swing is actually the highest high of the last 20 bars, but of the last 5 to the right. So 20 to the left and 5 to the right. I've now separated this. So you don't have to have a consistent, okay, I like looking at bigger swings. I don't want a lot of clutter. If you set that to 2 or 3, you're going to have swings just everywhere. Let me show you. We'll put the right to the same, and we'll put the left to 5. Look at all these swings. Reason being is this is just like the NinjaTrader indicator. If this is the highest high of the last 5 bars and it's the highest high of the next 5 bars, it's considered a swing. And by having such a small swing setting, I have swings everywhere. Depending on the time frame you're using, that might be very applicable. So if I'm using a 20, so 3 times 20 is 60, I might actually set that on 6, because if I set that on 6, that means I'm looking at 2-hour swings. I could set that on 3, and that would mean that I'm looking at hourly swings. Well, that's just crazy on this particular time frame. I got to swing everywhere. How could that possibly help anyone? This is the lowest bar of the last 1, 2, 3. It's the lowest bar of the 1, 2, 3. I have a mess. Personally, I prefer looking at, on the left side, huge swings. So there's 20. But now by having 20 on the left and 20 on the right, look what happens here. I lose this high point. I lose these double tops. I lose this bottom point. I lose this little bottom point. Even though I want less, by having less and by having the same amount on both sides, it's a hindrance as well. So now this was a swing. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars to the right. Now this is definitely the highest high of the last 20 bars. Actually, it's the highest high of the last, however, I could probably go back 100 bars, and that is the highest high. When do you want to see that as a swing? Do you want to wait another 20 bars? Or do you want to see it within 5 bars? Or do you want to see it in half of that, in 10 bars? Do you want to see it in 2 bars? That's up to you. Now, if I turn around, we said there's 5 bars there. If I set the right-hand side to 6, you'll notice that I get some additional swings because this was the highest high of the last 20 bars. It was actually a double top. And the next 6. Well, apparently this one wasn't. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th bar equaled, so that didn't end up being a swing. Now, when I go back to 5, you'll see that actually is a swing. Now, I know I mentioned I keep it equal to see double tops, but it still has to be within the bar setting or the strength setting that you have. So now if we just go back 1 setting and go to 5, you can see how that developed. Now, let's do this, and this is why I wasn't connected to data. I can come back to here, and we'll do a refresh of the chart, okay? And I'm going to show you this in action. We're looking at this at the bottom. Okay, we happen to know that's the lowest low, so just let's deal with that. Okay, our settings, 20 to the left, 5 to the right. This is going to be our lowest low. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar. At the close of the 5th bar, our swing is identified. Now, again, this goes back to anybody's swing indicator. There's anything that deals off of this. that has already moved. Well, again, we're looking at a 20-minute time period. That's already moved 50 ticks away. And now it's coming back down to retrace. Well, guess it's not. Let's look at it again. Let's hit refresh. Let's come up and change that to 2. We know this is the lowest bar. 1, 2. I have a much quicker indication now that this was the lowest low. Now granted, I'm going to have a lot more dots on my chart if I show dots, or if I don't show the dots, I'm going to see more swings. In my particular case, I kind of like that. As I come in and I see the break of this swing, and I get one here and it pulls back, and I see one here and it pulls back, and I see one here, that gives me an indication that, hey, we're making higher highs, guys. Higher high, higher high, higher high. You know, I'm going to be careful jumping on the short side right away. In any case, if we go back and change this to 9, we have our lowest low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, boom, 9. If you didn't know how a swing indicator worked, or how a zone indicator worked, or how any indicator that's drawing plots in this such way, that is how they work. Mine is unique in that I will allow you to choose both the left and the right, and it's not all put together. I found, just me, for me, when I'm looking at a 20-minute chart, I'm normally leaving it on 20 and 5. I definitely don't want to wait for 20 bars for this swing to show up on my chart, because at that point in time it's worthless. I don't want my left anything less than 10, because all of a sudden now I've got clutter, and what the hell does all that mean to me? We allow you to choose left and right. Now each time that we do that, we refresh the chart. You have to refresh the chart if you're changing your swing times, because the whole, you know, the array of lists that you're keeping all those points in is has to be updated. We're looking at our active swings, lines, dots, broken swings, lines, dots. We can unlock them. We can delete them. Any ones we don't want. Oops, don't want to do that. Probably don't need that swing anymore. You know, and I could probably get rid of them, but I kind of like that altogether, because I know that this area right here, I know by looking at this, that area right there, if we retrace back to it, might be an area of support, especially if I extend this all the way over and down to about there. That will probably be some area of support for a little bounce, maybe. Okay, is there anything else I should cover? Oh, I have thrown something else in here. Show fibs. Now, what I've done here is just added a little fib drawing tool in here, so that I can quickly click on this, click show fibs, and this is going to draw a fib from the lowest low of the last 150 bars to the highest high of the current bar. and it's going to draw fibs on my chart for me. And if I want 200, it's going to take the last 200 bars and draw from the highest high to the lowest low. Now, this is just drawing it. To get rid of this fib, you click on the fib and you delete the fib and it's gone. To bring it back, I click on it and it's there. And it was just something I did for myself, since I'm looking at swings and that's normally what I would leave mine on to, is probably 200. I think I'm going to change that to 300. Some people might want to look at, depends on your chart. We go in steps of 25 up to about 200. This was 250 and now it's 1. And to explain that to you, I would need to come back to a bar like here. And now if I come in and I throw my fib on 1, whoops, got to go another bar back. Okay, let's refresh the chart again. Is there a better example? Here, this is probably a better example. I just want to give you a good example here. A little methodology, a little something to think about. Okay, I'm coming down. They take out these swings and they catch a few stops for 5 ticks and then they bring it all the way back up. They do the same thing on the upside, only they go a little further. And now they bring it down. Now all of a sudden we get a huge big range bar. Huge. Don't know if there was news, don't know what happened, but you can just see that this range bar is huge compared to the range of the rest of the bars. The average true range of that bar is probably 3-4 times what the rest of these bars are. If I throw a fib of okay. Okay, so if we throw a fib on the last bar, so we're throwing a fib on this last bar. It just turns out that these lines, turns out those fibs line up pretty nice. Since we have such a big range bar, what we're looking for is we're looking for a pullback or a retracement up to 50, 61.8 to possibly get short and continue to play that down. So we can see if we wait till the 618, we can see that that would be right at the bottom of right where the breakout would be. So anywhere between in this region, we're looking for we can't chase it. We're looking for a retracement to play this further to the downside. So we get the retracement up to the 50, and that's all we get. Now I have another swing low coming in. I have consolidation. My play is over. Some might still be looking for this. I don't remember really what happens right here. I'm really looking for on the next bar for that retracement back up to that 618 or the 38.2, however you're looking at that, to play that back down, hopefully to break the lowest low and to come down further. Doesn't look like that happened in this case. Yeah, it did. It just didn't get there soon enough for me. I was looking for that to be quicker. In any case, those of you that play 50% fib would have caught that. Now you'd have took some heat, but you still could have caught 40, 50 ticks out of that, risking 20. So not the best trade, just an idea for you. That's why the 1 is there, to look at the big bar, look at the retracement to play that further up. or you just come throw that on 200 and draw your fibs and take a look at them. I've been a little too wordy in this video and probably not as precise as I need to be, but I think that gives you a good idea of the different types of features that are associated with this indicator that you'll not see in anyone else's. There is one thing that I'm going to do here. Matter of fact, I'll rearrange that so the one goes on top. I just did that. I can't decide if I want to change this 225 to 300 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or something smaller and rearrange that too. But what I am looking at doing in the future, and probably not for a couple weeks, but I am looking at adding the labels to the active and the broken individually so that you can change the label sizes and turn them on and off for the active and broken individually rather than having it an all or a none type thing. I've been asked if I could do that by a customer, and I can see some value in that, so I will probably do that. For now, you can always reach me through my website, www.htech.net. My email is edge@htech.net. I can be reached on Skype, Edge 358. Hope you guys enjoyed our presentation. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time. And good trading to you.